Hello and welcome. I'm Stevie.
I'm Camille.
And today, Camille, we're looking at our on-air English lesson. And we're talking about a subject that's kind of fun. It's called Too Loud!
Yes, 所以我们今天生活语音学堂要讲就是太吵了。所以刚刚 Stevie 老师有示范了一下，是 too loud.
Was I too loud?
Kind of.
Okay, sorry. I'll be quiet. Have you ever been to a museum?
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're in a museum,
You have to be very quiet.
you want to be quiet and let people enjoy the art.
Exactly.
Or enjoy the history. So you try to be quiet. Well, today, I think the people in the museum are not going to be so quiet. They're a little too loud.
没错，我们通常在 museum 里面的时候，人家会希望你是比较安静一点，所以其他人才可以观赏他们的艺术品。可是今天我们的对话呢，这些里面的人啊，可能就是有点太吵了。
You know, when I was little, I did something like this. I went to a museum for the first time that I remember, and there was an echo in the hall.
Yeah.
And so I was going, hello, 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 because there was an echo. And my teacher ran to me and said, be quiet! So I was too loud. So let's look at our article coming up right now.
The dialogue 情境对话
Do you remember when we used to walk around this museum as boyfriend and girlfriend?
Of course! How could I ever forget those days? However, that was a long time ago, and things have sure changed since then.
I know what you mean. This place used to be so relaxing, but now it's too loud. So far, in the past 10 minutes, I've seen 3 groups of students and their teachers walk by.
There's something you have to admit though. By gaining popularity, the museum has been able to host more exhibitions by famous artists.
I guess that's the trade-off.
Can we head over to the Picasso exhibition now?
Yes, please. Hopefully it'll be quieter there.
The explanation 内文讲解
We are back and looking at our dialogue today. It's Bert and Eve, and Bert and Eve are visiting their favorite museum.
没错，今天我们的对话是谈到伯特和伊芙，他们正在参观他们最喜欢的博物馆。
Now, do you have a favorite museum that you've been to?
Yeah, I would say the Louvre is too big for me. Like it took me a week to finish.
So you've been
visiting.
to the Louvre in
I've
Paris?
been to the Louvre in Paris.
Okay.
But then, to say my favorite, I would say the Tate Museum in London.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
like a modern museum.
She's traveled a lot. Actually, I've been to those too.
Oh, do
And
you like them both?
I like the British Museum in London, and I loved the Louvre. But you have to walk around really every day for almost a week to see it all.
Yeah. It's massive.
Yeah, it's very big. So actually, translate that really quick, the museums that we went to, and then we'll look at our dialogue.
所以刚刚呢，我们有讲到说，我们两个都去过在英国的大英博物馆，还有在巴黎的罗浮宫。那因为罗浮宫非常的大，所以都花我们大概1个礼拜的时间才走得完。
So now Bert and Eve are looking at another one. We start out with Eve saying, "Do you remember when we used to walk around this museum as boyfriend and girlfriend?" So she's kind of thinking about happy memories. Do you remember when we used to come together as boyfriend and girlfriend?
所以这边 Eve 他就有点在回忆往事了，他就说 Do you remember 你记不记得我们以前还是男女朋友的时候 as boyfriend and girlfriend 的时候，我们常常来这个博物馆走来走去。We used to 就是我们过去做什么事情，但是我们现在不再那么做了。
And he says, of course. How could I ever forget those days? Guys, this is very important. When your girlfriend or your wife says, do you remember this? You always say yes.
Yes.
So, okay, go
That's
ahead and
very
translate.
important. 没错，刚刚 Stevie 老师就说，如果说你的女朋友啊，或是你的老婆问你说，哎，你记不记得什么事情？你千万不要傻傻说有吗？你一定要说哦，我记得，我记得。
Yes.
就算你不记得，你还是要说你记得。所以这边 Bird 非常聪明，他就说 Of course， 当然啊。How could I ever forget those days？ 我怎么可能忘记了那些时光呢？
Yeah, true. Trust me. However, but that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. And things have surely changed since then. When we say things have changed since then, everything changes. But when we add surely, things have surely changed since then. That means they've changed a lot. So maybe it's been a really long time. Maybe they're already, an old grandpa and grandma. I don't know.
Could be.
Things have changed a lot.
没错，刚刚 Stevie 老师就说呢，他这边 things have surely changed since then， 就是事情加上那个 surely， 就是说它一定改变了很多，所以 surely 是有点像是强调的语气，所以 Bird 就说 however， 然而 that was a long time ago， 那很久之前的事情了，所以很多事情都已经变了。
And to say things have changed since then is actually one of our words and phrases. How would you say since then by itself?
从那个时候起，那这边要特别注意哦，在 since then 我们会用到的动词呢，一定要采现在完成式或是现在完成进行式。
We could say Tom saw a rat running across the floor at that noodle shop. Since then, he has never gone back.
没错，汤姆看见一只老鼠在那家面店的地板上跑过去，从此以后他就再也没有去那家店了。
I don't think I would go back either.
Yeah, me neither.
So, and, she says, I know what you mean. Yep, I understand. Things have changed a lot since then.
所以 Eve 在这边也同意他，他就说I know what you mean， 说我懂你的意思。
And then she says why, what she thinks has changed a lot. She says, this place used to be so relaxing. It used to be so comfortable, relaxing. You would come here and you would feel good. But now it's too loud. So they're hearing something.
所以啊 Eve 就继续说，为什么事情已经改变了呢？他说这个地方 used to be 一样，又是 used to be， 它过去的时候是 very relaxing， so relaxing， 让人家感觉到很 relax， 就是很放松。可是现在来这里呢 ，it's too loud， 这边现在已经太吵了。
So she says it's too loud, and now she explains why she thinks that. She says, in the past 10 minutes, or during or over the past 10 minutes, I've seen 3 groups of students and their teachers walk by. So 3 groups of students with their teachers. Yep,
It
students
must be pretty loud.
probably pretty loud.
OK， 那 Eve 就继续解释他为什么觉得这边太吵了。他就说 ，In the past 10 minutes， 在过去的10分钟，这边我们介系词用 in， 我已经看到3组的老师和他们的学生 walk by，walk by 就是走过去的意思。
So, a group of students with their teachers, that's probably going to be pretty loud.
Yeah.
So you can see that, during or for the past 10 minutes, that's part of our words and phrases. And there's a lot of ways to use, how we use time in this grammar structure. We could say, for the past 10 minutes, during the past few minutes, in the past few hours, over the past few hours or days, through the years, down through the years. These are so many ways to describe using time.
没错，刚刚 Stevie 老师举了很多例子，那这些介系词像 for、during、in、over、through、down through 都可以用来形容过去的一段时间。那记住哦，在这边修饰的动词呢，要采取现在完成式或是现在完成进行式。
Like, I have been studying English for the past 2 weeks.
过去这2个星期来，我都一直在念英文。
I don't know why though. My
Why
English
you
is
studying
okay. Yeah. Now, you've been to the Louvre, right? This is a huge, big museum in Paris.
Yeah.
I think it's probably maybe the biggest museum in the world.
Yeah, I would say that too.
And if you walk through there, there are some places where it's so loud because lots of groups and lots of people translating
Yeah.
and talking about, this painting. So if you go to places where, like the Mona Lisa is, very, very loud,
Yeah.
very noisy.
And in every language possible.
Yeah.
There's tourists from everywhere.
But if you go to places where the groups don't go, like in the Egyptian wing, it's quiet and you can really appreciate what you're looking at.
所以刚刚 Stevie 老师就有说啊，当你去罗浮宫，如果你去那种大家都一定想要去看的地方，像是蒙娜丽莎的画啊，那一定是很吵，因为有很多人一直在讲话。
Yeah.
可是如果你去比较冷门的地方，像是这个埃及之翼啊，那就会比较安静，而且你可以就是很自在的欣赏这个艺术。
Yeah. Now, moving on, Bert says, there's something you have to admit, though. Now I'm really thinking maybe he's an older guy. The way this sounds. There's something you have to admit, though. And to admit something means I kind of have to agree with this, and I have to tell you, I admit that this is true.
所以他就说 ，There's something you have to admit though， 就是有一件事情啊 ，admit 就是承认，有一件事情你需要承认哦。
Admit is also one of our words and phrases today.
没
And
错
how do you say that in Chinese?
，it's 承认。
And you can admit to something or admit that something is true.
所以 admit 你可以加 that 子句，或是你可以 admit to 加名词或 VING， 一样都是承认。
Like, I admit that there were times when I considered giving up.
我承认有几次我曾经考虑要放弃。
Or the terrorist admitted to planting the bomb on the plane.
恐怖分子承认他在飞机上放置炸弹，所以 plant 在这边就是放置炸弹的放置。
Yeah, but we're not talking about terrorists right now. We're talking about the museum.
Yep.
And, Bert says, well, there's something I'll admit to. By gaining popularity, by becoming more and more popular, the museum has been able to host more exhibitions by famous artists. So they've been able to host more exhibitions. When we say host, that means to have more exhibitions come to the museum.
所以 Bird 就继续解释呢，他说你必须要承认哦 ，by gaining popularity 就是借由打响它的知名度 ，gaining 就是增加，那 popularity 就是你受欢迎的程度。The museum 这个博物馆呢 has been able to host 就是主办，它就可以主办更多由知名艺术家办的展览。
Now, host actually is one of our words and phrases. And host can mean like to host a party. right? You can host a party. Right now, we are actually, on this video, we are hosting the video. We can use that. And we can also, host is also used to mean a male person, like the host of this show. We used to separate them. Host was male, hostess was female. But now we try to use words that are, less gender specific.
Yeah.
So now host can mean male or female.
没错，所以刚刚 Stevie 老师就说这个 host 它可以当做动词的时候是主办，那我们可以用主办展览，也可以说 host this video， 就像我们现在在做的事，这也可以用 host。所以 host 有很多种用法，那它也有名词的用法。在过去呢，我们只有说男主人的时候会说 host， 那女主人的时候我们用 hostess。可是因为现在我们避免这些就是比较强调性别的用法，所以我们现在一律说 host 就是主人。
Yep. So male or female for host. We also like hosting tournaments and that. Like my hometown, Salt Lake City in Utah in the US. We hosted the 2002 Winter Olympics. So I wasn't there. I was in Taiwan. But we hosted the Olympics. And whenever you host like outside games or tournaments, in Taiwan or something, then we call that hosting the event.
所以刚刚 Stevie 老师就讲到 host， 他除了说主办展览，他还可以说主办一个比赛。像他就有提到啊，他的家乡犹他州的盐湖城就在2002年的时候举办了冬季奥运。
In Chinese, they got Dongji, like winter season, right? I remember when I first learned this in Chinese, I heard Dongjing Aoyun. And I was thinking, Tokyo Olympics? Okay. But to move on now into the article, now she says, I guess that's the trade-off. We're talking about being back at the museum now. He just says, the museum is gaining in popularity so they can show more things. So maybe that's a good thing. And she says, I guess that's the trade-off. So the trade-off is, the museum is not so quiet now. It's much louder now, but there's also more things to see because we're popular and they're making money.
Yeah, true. 所以 Eve 就说 I guess that's a trade-off， 就是我想就是 trade-off 就是权衡，就是有得必有失的意思。因为怎么样呢？因为这个博物馆现在比较受欢迎，更多人来，更多的那个艺术家可以来办展览，所以它会比较吵。可是其实大家也可以享受到更多的艺术啊，所以等于说是有得必有失。
Yeah, and trade-off is one of our words and phrases. And how do you say that? Just all by itself, trade-off.
权衡。
Okay. Like there must be a trade-off between quality and quantity. Many companies, say things like this. You want quality or you want quantity? Which is it?
所以很多公司都会这样说哦，质与量之间一定要有所平衡。
Yeah. And then, this is kind of funny, we just talked about there being a trade-off, right? Oh, the museum is so loud now because of the students and the teachers. And then, they're going to a very famous exhibition. You have to be a famous museum to get this kind of exhibition. Bert says, can we head over or can we go over to the Picasso exhibition now? So yeah, you're right. There has to be a trade-off. Can we go see Picasso now?
没错 ，Bird 就说好啦，随便你怎么说。那我们可不可以现在 head over to 就是前往的意思。前往的 Picasso 就是毕卡索，毕卡索的 exhibition 毕卡索展。我们现在到底可不可以过去了？
And head to is one of our phrases today. To head to a place or to head for a place means to go there. And just think, when you're walking, if you're in a hurry, you put your head down, right? Okay, head to. So that's how we use it. Let's head over here.
刚 Stevie 老师又教我们一个很好背的方法，就是如果你要前往某个地方的时候，你的头比较会倾斜向前面，所以呢，这就是这个片语的诞生 head to、head for 某个地方。
Yeah, like I'm heading for the nearest KTV. Do you want to come with me?
Sure 所以 Stevie 老师就说我正要到最近的一家 KTV 唱歌，你要一起来吗？
And of course, his wife or ex-girlfriend, I think wife.
Wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says,
Probably.
yeah, she says, yes, please. Meaning, yes, please. Let's go look at the Picasso exhibition now. Hopefully, it'll be quieter there.
所以 Eve 就说 Yes, please， 真的拜托了。那 hopefully 希望哦那边会更加的安静。Hopefully it will be quieter there.
So, that is our article for today. And we're going to leave the quiet museum now, and we're going to go to the nearest KTV, where it's going to be loud.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Tips in Use 重点解析。
Hello， 大家好，我是 Sherman， 欢迎来到 Tips in Use 时间。今天我们有2个片语要来看，第一个是 used to 加上原形动词，它的意思是指过去经常怎么样。我们来看一下文章中的句子。Do you remember when we used to walk blah blah blah？ 当中的 used to 加原形动词，表示过去常做某件事情，但是现在呢，他已经不这样做了。例如，我们看下面的例句。My brother used to be a naughty boy, but now he's a well-behaved young man. 这边的 naughty 就是指淘气的，那后面的 well-behaved 指的是行为端正的意思。所以呢，我弟弟他曾经是个 naughty boy， 是个那个淘气的男孩，但是他现在呢，已经是个行为端正的年轻人了。所以这是 used to 表示过去的习惯，经常在做什么事。那我们来看看第二个。是 gain in popularity， 或者是我们可以省略那个 in， 变成 gain popularity， 表示受欢迎的意思。popularity 它其实是个名词，它的意思可以当作声望或者是人气。因此呢，广受欢迎，我们就可以用 gain in popularity， 或者是 win popularity 来表示。例如New Age music has gained popularity over the past few years. 好，新世纪的音乐呢，在过去这几年广受大家的欢迎。好的，所以我们大家都会了 used to 加原形动词以及 gain in popularity 的用法了吗？希望大家都学会喽。我们下次见，拜拜。
Words and phrases 单字片语。
1. Favorite. Cindy waited for hours to buy tickets for her favorite singer's concert.
2. Since then. Tom saw a rat running across the floor at that noodle shop. Since then, he has never gone back.
3. In the past few weeks. For the last few months. During the past few years. Over the past few decades. I have been studying English for the past 2 weeks.
4. Admit. Admit that. Admit to. I admit that there were times when I considered giving up. The terrorist admitted to planting the bomb on the plane.
5. Host. The country profited from hosting the international tournament.
6. Trade-off. There must be a trade-off between quality and quantity.
7. Head to. Head for. I'm heading for the nearest KTV. Do you want to come with me?
Extra words. Exhibition.
The Dialogue 情境对话。
Do you remember when we used to walk around this museum as boyfriend and girlfriend?
Of course.
How could I ever forget those days? However, that was a long time ago, and things have sure changed since then.
I know what you mean. This place used to be so relaxing, but now it's too loud. So far, in the past 10 minutes, I've seen 3 groups of students and their teachers walk by.
There's something you have to admit though. By gaining popularity, the museum has been able to host more exhibitions by famous artists.
I guess that's the trade-off.
Can we head over to the Picasso exhibition now?
Yes, please. Hopefully it'll be quieter there.
Just for fun. 趣味英文
When a young boy enters a barber shop, the barber turns to his customer. He whispers, "This is the dumbest kid in the world. Watch while I prove it to you." The barber puts a dollar bill in one hand and 2 quarters in the other and calls the boy over. He asks, "Which do you want, son?" The boy takes the quarters and leaves. "What did I tell you? That kid never learns," says the barber. Later, as the customer leaves, he sees the same young boy coming out of the ice cream store next door. He goes up to him and says, "Hey, son, can I ask you why you took the quarters instead of the dollar bill?" The boy licked his cone and replied, "Because the day I take the dollar, the game is over."